Across the United States, many football players work their entire early lives to hear their name called eventually on draft night. But there's only a select few drafted every year. Good evening, thank you for joining us for KQ2 News at 10. I'm Chris Roush in for Mary Grace Rice. KQ2's Joseph Williams speaking with a local resident who was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs back in 1967.
I was in heaven because I never thought I was good enough to do anything like that.
Ronald and Kathy Zwerneman calling St. Joseph home now, far from where Ronald was spending most of his life in Houston, but now he's closer to the team that drafted him, especially with training camp just down the road.
I just made a little gesture to her. I said, I wonder if they'd let an old man suit up again just one more time.
Growing up in Houston, Texas, Ronald Zeke Zwerneman grew up playing the sport he loved, football.
I loved football, and I was an offensive lineman. And you know, linemen don't get too much glory or whatever, but that's here and there.
Zwerneman would spend his college at East Texas State excelling on the offensive line, but it was a play he made against a Hall of Fame offensive lineman that helped solidify his career at the university.
Gene Upshaw was playing in front of me and blocking me. I was determined. I went through him and went around, and I blocked the field goal. And so I got the glory of blocking the field goal to win the conference.
After 4 years at East Texas State University, Zwerneman got a call many young athletes work their whole lives for.
I got a call one evening from Hank Stram and asked me if I was a senior, and I said, yes, sir. It surprised me. He said, would you consider coming to the Chiefs? I said, oh, yes, sir, I certainly would.
58 years ago, Zwerneman's dreams coming true, getting drafted to play for the Kansas City Chiefs, and while he was at the height of his career, a leg injury shortened a promising career.
I think about 6 games, and I got my ACL torn, and that kind of ended it for that season. Oh, I was somebody. You know, I was a ball player. I'd been recognized and everything, and then all of a sudden I was nobody.
Facing the harsh reality of his career being over, life after football wasn't easy.
Well, it was kind of dark. I went through a divorce right afterwards. My mother passed away. I had a dark life, and it probably took me about 6 or 7 years to come out of that.
While Zwerneman's career shows the ups and downs of being a professional athlete, he's made strides to turn his life around, finding the love of his life and donating his time to help others. Humbled with multiple awards for serving his community back in Texas, with his wife Kathy by his side.
She's a lot of fun. She's been on my side, and I love her dearly.
Recently celebrating his 80th birthday, Zwerneman reflecting on the game that he loved years later, daydreaming of putting those pads back on one more time.
I played football because I loved football, and anybody that wants to play football, you got to love it, and you got to understand that there's chances that you're going to get hurt, but what you got to do is pop right back up and get your injury taken care of and still love the game.
Reporting in St. Joseph, Joseph Williams, KQ2 News.